What lies beyond the limit? Imagine for a moment that every time you breathe, you're inhaling a part of the cosmos. It may sound like fantasy, but it's reality. With every breath, approximately 56 stillion atoms, a number represented by a 5 followed by 22 zeros, enter your lungs. These atoms have already traveled through stars and galaxies, traversing the vast expanse of space before becoming part of your simple breath. This fact alone is an invitation to reflect on how intimately connected we are to the infinite universe. When we breathe, we are participating in a continuous cosmic cycle. The atoms that make up the air we breathe were forged in the furnaces of stars, scattered by supernova explosions, and traveled through ages before becoming part of Earth. And now, as they enter our lungs, these same atoms sustain our life. It's a mystical connection to the cosmos, reinforcing the idea that we are literally stardust. All things related to the universe are my greatest passion, and if you share that passion, I recommend subscribing to the channel. Atoms from Earth to the universe. A scaled perspective. Moving from the human scale to a larger one, let's consider the atoms that make up our bodies, the Earth, and the observable universe. Our body is a conglomerate of approximately 7 octillion atoms, a 7 followed by 27 zeros. This immense quantity is already difficult to comprehend, but it's only a minuscule fraction when compared to the Earth, which is composed of a staggering 100 quindecillion atoms, a 1 followed by 50 zeros. Expanding our perspective further, the observable universe, with its 46 billion light-years in diameter, houses around 100,000 quadrillion vigintillion atoms, a 1 followed by 82 zeros. This scale is so vast that it challenges our understanding. Transitioning from the micro to the macrocosm reveals a universe of unimaginable complexity and vastness, where each atom tells a story of billions of years of cosmic evolution. The Planck scale, measuring the unmeasurable. Within this universe of astronomical numbers, there's a measurement that defies comprehension: the Planck scale. The Planck length is the smallest theoretically possible unit of space, a minuscule unit of 1.6 × 10 circumflex 35 meters. This value represents the scale at which gravity begins to interact with quantum mechanics, and it's where the laws of physics as we know them start to break down. The Planck scale is so tiny that any attempt to visualize it is beyond our reach. It's the point where our understanding of space and time disintegrates, leading us to question the fundamental nature of the universe. This concept challenges our perception of the infinitely small, just as vast numbers of atoms challenge our perception of the infinitely large. The game of trees, numbers beyond comprehension. Now, let's delve into the abstract world of numbers with the game of trees, a mathematical exploration that pushes the boundaries of imagination. The game begins with a colored seed that gives rise to a tree whose branches end in new seeds, which can, in turn, generate their own trees. The rule is simple. Each tree must have seeds in a number that corresponds to its level in the sequence. The fascination of this game lies in its ability to grow exponentially. Each new tree increases the complexity of the forest created, challenging the limits of what we can conceive. The game of trees is not just a mathematical pastime. It's a metaphor for unlimited growth, a reflection of the infinite nature of the universe and the inherent complexity of life. Tree 3, the giant number. Among all the variations of the game of trees, Tree 3 stands out. Using 3 colors, this number is so large that it defies any attempt at understanding or representation. While previous trees in the sequence find their end quickly, Tree 3 continues to grow, reaching a size that is, in many ways, incalculable. Tree 3 represents more than just a number. It's a symbol of infinity in action. The idea that something can grow indefinitely, never reaching a limit, reminds us of the boundless nature of the cosmos and the capacity for uninterrupted expansion that mathematics and nature present to us. Just as the cosmos is vast and seemingly endless, Tree 3 challenges us to contemplate numbers beyond the scope of our understanding and to consider how deep and mysterious mathematics can be when we explore its farthest frontiers. Infinity versus Tree. 3. A mental journey. The journey to understand infinity versus Tree 3 is like an adventure in the realm of the unimaginable. While Tree 3 is a defined but unbelievably large number, infinity is a concept that transcends all numbers. When we attempt to embrace the idea of infinity, we enter a territory where traditional logic fails and imagination becomes our only guide. The comparison between Tree 3 and infinity is like contrasting a colossal star with the vast emptiness of space. Tree 3, despite its magnitude, is a finite point on an infinite spectrum of possibilities. Contemplating this relationship is like looking at the night sky and realizing that no matter how bright the brightest star is, it's just one among countless others in the infinite universe. The human mind and the infinite, limits of the knowable. When we encounter infinity, we reach the limits of the human mind. We are capable of conceiving extraordinarily large numbers, like Tree 3, but infinity remains beyond the grasp of our complete understanding. It is a frontier that challenges not only our mathematical capability, but also our imagination. This encounter with infinity leads us to reflect on the nature of knowledge and understanding. We are conditioned to think in finite and measurable terms. However, in trying to comprehend infinity, we are forced to recognize that there are realities beyond what we can quantify or explain. It's a humble admission that, no matter how far we advance, there will always be mysteries that remain unfathomable. Einstein and the challenge of truth in the modern era. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest physicists in history, recognized the complexity of discerning truth in a world filled with conflicting information. Politics, he claimed, was more complicated than physics, serving as a metaphor for the challenges faced when seeking truth in any field. In the modern era, this challenge is amplified by the avalanche of information and misinformation we receive daily. The pursuit of truth, especially in science and mathematics, requires a balance between healthy skepticism and openness to new ideas. This pursuit is complicated by our natural tendency to seek patterns and simple answers, even when reality can be infinitely more complex and subtle. Pythagoras and the cult of numbers. Pythagoras, an ancient Greek philosopher and mathematician, led a movement that saw numbers not only as tools for measurement or calculation, but as fundamental elements of the universe. For him and his followers, numbers had almost divine properties, and mathematical harmony was the key to understanding the cosmos. However, this idealized view of numbers found limits when confronted with the discovery of irrational numbers, numbers that cannot be expressed as simple fractions. This discovery shook the Pythagorean belief in perfect numerical order, suggesting a more complex and less predictable mathematical reality. Irrational numbers and the deconstruction of dogma. The discovery of irrational numbers was a pivotal moment in the history of mathematics. It challenged the Pythagorean notion that everything in the universe could be explained through simple numerical relationships. These numbers, like the square root of 2, couldn't be expressed as the ratio of two integers, pointing to a richer and less intuitive mathematical reality. This discovery paved the way for a deeper and more flexible understanding of mathematics and nature. It reminds us that the universe isn't always orderly and predictable, and that our understanding of reality is always evolving, challenging the limits of what we consider knowable and possible. Zeno and the paradox of the infinite. Zeno's paradox, formulated by the ancient Greek philosopher Zeno of Elea, illustrates the enigmatic nature of infinity in a practical context. His most famous paradox, the dichotomy, argues that motion is impossible. To reach a destination, we must first reach halfway, then halfway of what remains, and so on, infinitely, suggesting that we'll never reach the end. While we know in practice that motion and progress are possible, Zeno's paradox challenges our understanding of space, time, and infinity. It reminds us that the concept of infinity is more than a mathematical abstraction. It has real and profound implications for our perception of reality. Exploring the universe, finiteness, or infiniteness. The question of whether the universe is finite or infinite is one of cosmology's most intriguing questions. This issue isn't just a scientific curiosity, it strikes at the heart of our understanding of the cosmos. If the universe is finite, it has a measurable size, with a boundary beyond which nothing exists. On the other hand, if it's infinite, it stretches forever, limitless and boundless, a concept that challenges our comprehension and imagination. The finite or infinite nature of the universe has profound implications. A finite universe may suggest a defined beginning and end, while an infinite universe suggests a cosmos without limits, where everything that can happen will happen somewhere and sometime. This concept, known as actual infinity, sheds light on the nearly mystical nature of the cosmos, where the laws of physics and probability merge into endless possibilities. The Sentinel Island, a metaphor for knowledge. The Sentinel Island, inhabited by an isolated people cut off from the rest of the world, serves as a powerful metaphor for our quest for knowledge. Just as the Sentinelese have a limited understanding of the world beyond their island, we too, in our cosmic island, have a limited view of the vast universe beyond our observable reach. The island represents our observable universe, and the vast and unknown sea symbolizes the universe beyond our capacity for observation. This parallel highlights the limited nature of our knowledge and the existence of realities that may be beyond our understanding. The history of the Sentinelese reminds us that, despite all our technological advancement and scientific knowledge, there is still much we don't know about the universe, and perhaps we never will. Beyond the observable, cosmic speculations, what lies beyond the boundary of the observable universe is one of cosmology's unanswered questions. Theories and speculations abound, from the idea that the universe is much larger than we can see to the possibility of multiple universes or dimensions. Some cosmologists suggest that beyond our observable universe, there are regions of space that expanded differently, possibly with different laws of physics. This speculation takes us into a realm where science meets philosophy. By contemplating what lies beyond the observable, we're exploring not only the physics of the cosmos, but also the nature of reality, knowledge, and existence. We're pushing the limits of what is knowable, entering a territory where science and imagination merge. The nature of infinity, final perspectives. In the end, our journey to understand what lies beyond the limit brings us back to the concept of infinity. This concept transcends usual human understanding and challenges our ability to conceive of the universe in finite terms. Whether in the vast number of atoms in the universe or the idea of an infinitely expanding and eternal cosmos, infinity represents the ultimate boundary of human knowledge. Infinity isn't just a mathematical or scientific concept. It's an idea that touches the core of our existence. Reflecting on infinity is reflecting on the mystery of life, the universe, and everything within it. It's a humble reminder that no matter how much we learn and grow, there will always be more to discover, more to understand, and that true knowledge lies in both the journey and the destination. Choose your next video, and I'll see you there.